Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new video today. I will be analyzing the trailers for episode 1 of DCAS, along with the intro, before we begin. Do note the following things. Firstly, Odd Nation Cartoons is in complete ownership of the Disventure Camp brand. Please go make sure to show them support for this series. Secondly, sections for this video will be intro analysis, teaser trailer analysis, theories for episode 1, and conclusion. Thirdly, timestamps will be provided in the description for the intro and teaser trailer analyses. This is so you can skip around to whichever you wish. Do note during the trailer teaser analyses, the goal will be to go in chronological order in the DC timeline. If this makes no sense right now, don't worry, it will during that section. Alrighty, without further delays, let us get into today's video. Starting with the intro analysis.
Ugh, finally! A dumb marching band blocked our exit for 5 minutes. Should have just run them over.
The beginning of the intro shows us with James and Lake walking towards the camp, with James pulling out his phone and Lake subsequently smiling towards it. This to me not only implies the idea that James has gotten his following back since the airing of S2, but also that these two are going to be developing a friendship of some kind. Despite being such an integral part of the James and Aiden arc, Lake never really interacted with James, so I do think it'll be very wholesome and interesting to see these two interact throughout DCAS. Flipping to Hunter and Ellie, who are fighting without Tess there. What makes this all the more confusing is that not only in much of the promotional material are they happy, they look like they are dating. Even, I think there could be multiple reasons this has occurred. First off, the interview with Emily, for those who do not understand what I am referring to here. In teaser number 2, Emily is shown interviewing some of the contestants. More of this later in the video. Anyway, it shows Ellie and Hunter begin to get mad at one another there. So it's likely Emily triggered something when doing the interview as well. I think the presence of Tess here will also cause some fights. Tess has completely separated herself from them for some reason, so I feel like her being here will extend some of their fights overall, though these two aren't the thing. I am the most excited for this season. I think it'll be somewhat entertaining for some drama. Now, flipping onto Alec and Fiore. Alec is of course still mad at the evil child for everything, with Fiore just very annoyed at the aspect. I think most of the arc will be them being forced to work together again and them fixing up their broken dynamic. Alec is also not doing so good, so I feel like them making up will give a nice wrap up to his character. When it comes to Fiore, I am hoping we learn a bit more on her backstory. Note also, I don't think these two will ever be as close as they were in S1, but hey, it's Disventure Camp, so realistically anything can happen. Lol. These two I am very excited for coming into the season. Now onto the winner of S1, Miriam. Miriam is just watching Fiore and Alec. I think she's trying to make sure they aren't up to older tricks again, otherwise we don't see Miriam much in this intro, which furthers my idea she won't be making it too far, especially given the fact she's won a season. I'm also not too excited to see her return. I don't really know what they will do with her, but I suppose we will see. Onto the most confusing yet interesting part of the intro, You'll Regret. The best ship name known to mankind is You'll Regret. I cannot be convinced otherwise on that. Jokes aside though, I have a strong feeling this will not be ending well. Not only do we know from teaser number 2 Yul has had zero change in personality, but we also know Yul's history when it comes to relationships. I'm hoping it'll be a surprisingly healthy relationship. However, I'm not predicting it will happen. I pray for Grett right now. Onto Jake and Ashley. Jake and Ashley are shown playing a dodgeball game, which Ashley just hits Aiden, with it being shown that Tom immediately making sure Aiden is okay, helping him out of the water. This is an interesting dynamic. Most people before the season predicted Jake and Aiden would be best friends. Now it's Tom and Aiden, which I honestly prefer. Something to also note is the confidence shown from these two. X and Tom Scars love the off-screen character development. Back to Jake and Ashley. We see Jake jealous of Aiden. Oh no, Ashley being confused at that aspect. Ashley, as we know, is trying to form more bonds as shown in teaser number 2, but also she wasn't in game when the Tom and Jake chaos happened, and also really never talked with Jake. So I do find this dynamic interesting. I'm pretty sure Ashley is going to be Jake's new female best friend, with it being shown in the intro these two interacting and also sitting next to one another on the ending campfire. It makes a lot of sense, IMO, for Ashley to be the mediator of this situation. Something beyond that to note is Jake being cautious of Ashley due to what occurred with Ellie last time he was on the show, and tackling that if that's the route they are going with this. I am very excited to see what's next for Jake. You probably won't be hearing me say that again for a while, lol. To test Ellie and Gabby, I predicted this originally to happen. And man, am I excited to see this friendship occur. These three interacting seems like wholesomeness, and more Gabby and Ellie. Something more to note, Tessa's art interest was only mentioned in episode 13 briefly, so seeing it here definitely offers more off-screen character development. Also, remember Tess was doing art for Lake's novel. So are these two friends? Ick, but I need more Lake and Tess interactions. Moving on to the next scene, with number Nina's supremacy. Anyway, the fact she's just an alive puppet and that freaks Ellie and Gabby out so much, I can't lol. With the season to campers, we see James looking at Aiden kindly. Otherwise, not much more to note rather than Ria's incredible redesign. Ellie and Hunter having such opposite expressions, and Aiden just, is he looking at Tom? There's a lot more to go over. When it comes to the S1 cast section, first off, wholesome Ellie and Gabby. Secondly, we see Jake looking in sadness at Tom. Who is he looking at? Aiden. The one other person here whose expression I find important is Grett's. She looks sad from everything else. Does she feel left out? Does she feel down with her thing with y'all? Who knows, TBH? I guess we will see. Connor and Ria at the campfire. Y'all know what this means? TBH, I never saw Connor and Ria. The huge age gap really doesn't help if you are fine with that. That's great, you do you. I just can't overlook it that easy, but maybe my mind will change. Who knows, lol. I find this SS much more intriguing rather than the before, as it shows Ria immediately putting on a fake act for the camera. It's like she wants to improve as a person, but cannot due to her having to hide her true identity to keep her fame and dreams, which is such a cool direction to take Ria's character. As well, notice Fiori's expression in the corner. She smirks at Ria. Is Fiori a fan of Ria's new alliance era? I need to see this alliance. ASAP, lol. Anyways, onto the group by the fire. First off, please ignore Trevor's hand blocking a bit of it, lol. A few details. Ellie and Gabby wholesomey. You'll regret Yul has his hand on Grett's shoulder. Still questioning this ship. James and Aiden holding hands. I still fear the future. We see Trevor and Derek, then Crystal simply pushes them out of the way. It's not the hosts I want to focus on here, it's the decor that we are seeing. We see three colors here, purple, blue, and yellow. This is correspondent on the pen and the bucket for the votes, and also shown in the paint. Splatters on the cast reveal photos for DCAS. This to me basically confirms the idea that we are getting 3 teams this season. And also I believe it has been confirmed that it won't be S to the S, S1. Take this with a grain of salt, as this may just be rumors. Something that other fans have also pointed out is the color of the clothing on characters may correspond to the teams. For example, in the trailers and intro, Aiden wears a blue bathing suit, so he would be on the blue team. It's all just speculation here though. Would love to hear your theories down below. Onto the teaser analyses, which again will be in timeline order.
Ugh, finally! A dumb marching band blocked our exit for 5 minutes. Should have just run him over.
I think this will be the first scene we see in DCAS, with her calling the confirmed cast that her and Oliver chose. I'm pretty sure it's been confirmed that Rosa Maria was invited but declined. So I wonder if we will also see her call replacements. Interesting to think about. Ashley is shown working on the farm. Then we flip to James and Eden, who are apparently vacationing at the moment in Brazil. We also know James is Brazilian, so maybe he's visiting his family. Also, this is important for later, so keep it in mind. We see Jack and Miriam. I am so happy they kept contact with one another. This dynamic is just so wholesome and I'd love to see more of it. Something more to note, is this Miriam's house? Did Jake move in? And if this is Miriam's house, where's Biscuits, her cat? Either way, Miriam is also presumably cooking, baking. So after the show, she went for her passion. That's great. There's not much more to note here, though I am intrigued to see how far these to make it in DCAS. I am not too confident in the hashtag Miriam Miracle comma this go round lol. Never thought I'd be saying this, but there's a lot to go over when it comes to these two in this teaser. First off, as pointed out earlier, they don't look like they are fighting. I believe here they are streaming on Eli's gaming account. I'm sure she got a bit of fame from S2, especially considering how famous Rhea managed to get, and she invited Hunter onto the show. But it seems like the usual. Still a bit confused on why Taz isn't here, because as shown in the background, they did keep contact. Speaking of which, I never knew Eli played electric guitar. Secondly, it's so cool to see a picture of her grandfather in the background. Great to know she still keeps him in her memory. Speaking of which, she has a picture up with her, Tess, and Hunter hanging out. Also, all the Mario references I adore IT. As stated earlier, still a bit confused on why Taz isn't here, but I'm sure it'll be somewhat explained in the first episode. We see more Pac-Man and Mario references within the background, otherwise not too much. I am very curious in the direction of these two's characters, though, and I am hoping it's not just them fighting. Both of them we realistically don't know much about. And I don't think constant fighting will help us learn more on them as characters, people. We will see though. Moving on to Tom, who we see is still a cop, which isn't his partner one of the cops from the finale. Did they hire Tom? Interesting to think about. Then we flip to Rosa Maria and Lake. First off, Sophia reveal. I never expected us getting one, but I'm happy we did. Also, I did not think that Rosa Maria's purple hair was genetic. It's cool though. I think it's clear that Lake is still staying with Rosa Maria in Mexico, which just so wholesome. I'm very excited to see Lake return. It's also great to have the Rosa Maria cameo. And she did not change in the slightest in the year or two that has passed. I just found that interesting. Now on to Rhea. First off, Rhea is shown doing an interview. It's heavily implied through the promotional art that Rhea has become a famous actress, which, like How many people hate Eden in this universe? Because I have a strong feeling that is most of her following fans are not fans of Eden. Flipping to the next Ria scene. We see her on what seems to be an acting set, further pointing out the fact Ria has become a famous actress. My guess for her smiling when she's called is that she's probably used to getting lots of acting gig calls nowadays, and was just expecting that before it's revealed it's Disventure Camp. Still though, Ria is that one character I am so excited to see the direction taken with her. We will see. Onto Trevor and Derek. Trevor has a harmonica I can't very expected from him though. Trevor is probably confused at whoever came to his and Derek's cell. Something I am betting is that this is all for community service, so they can permanently leave jail. They never confirmed how long the sentence Derek and Trevor got was, so this proves it was at least for 3 years. I'm pretty sure the time skip here for S1 is at least 3 years, with S2's time skip being 6 months to 1 year. This is of course all just speculation though. Derek is also just sad at the situation they are in. I am excited to see these two interact more. However, I am also hoping we learn more about them as characters because, again, rather than some basic motivations and basic character traits, we know really nothing about Derek and Trevor. Still, onto Crystal and Emily. This scene has spoken lines, with revealing Emily's voice, which a bit unexpected, but it's cool. Additionally, this scene I feel comes right before Crystal explains how this season is going to work, and then we see her doing so. This is Ethier, a brand new island area from Camp to Bisca. Or darn, area can change fast. I'm more so leaning towards a brand new island area here. I also wanted to touch on another popular theory I've seen everywhere, which is this being a world tour season with the plane taking the campers everywhere. I don't personally see that happening. I just think the plane is here so they can pick up all the cast. Remember, these people live everywhere around the globe. Some live in Canada, some live in America, some live in Brazil, some live in Mexico, etc., etc. So, the plane is needed to pick up everyone if any other impact is done by the plane. My guess is it'll be challenge related, likely the first challenge of the season. Or maybe they will go for a team picking challenge. Now that'd be interesting. Anyway, onto Grett and Alec. An SS I didn't add was Grett walking up to this meeting place. Anyways, this makes loads of sense for Alec and Grett to live somewhat close to one another, as they both are confirmed to be British. Well, Alec is also Turkish but found on the official wiki. These two interacting after so long will definitely offer interesting interactions. I feel like both will give a slight update on each of their lives. For instance, maybe Alec informs Grett how life has been after his divorce. I think this scene here is them seeing the plane for the first time. We will see what happens next though. I'm pretty sure Emily will be doing basic interviews with the contestants before they go onto the plane, or before they head to the camp. Emily's personality, from the 0.5 seconds of screen time we have seen her, seems like more of an evil, bring out the drama type one. So, my guess is that she will be trying to stir up drama between duos, partners, whilst also trying to stir up drama between just regular campers. It works on some. For instance, our next discussion character, Grett. Grett in this scene is shown to get very mad very fast. Did Emily bring up her weight loss? That seems like the most likely situation here, which I hope it doesn't affect Grett too badly, which I suppose maybe too wishful given this scene. Moving on to the next, we see Alec and Fiore chatting. Alec is mad to see Fiore. Fiore is tired of it, but probably somewhat updates Alec on her life. My guess is Fiore rolled her class or tortured some of her other classmates. Both are very in character for her. Back to this discussion though. I think it'll end in a slight fight. It is seen that Alec is not happy. I think this will just be the tip of the iceberg for these two's dynamic in this coming season. Onto the best duo in Disventure Camp, Gabby and Ellie. I'm guessing Emily is trying to put some angst. Cause some issues between Gabby and Ellie, which is why Gabby is sad. My guess is that Emily insulted Gabby in some regard, Ellie annoyed. Defends Gabby like an icon. Then we see Ellie mad at somebody or somebody's. My personal idea for this is she is seeing Miriam and Jake. For the first time in years, Miriam she'd probably be mad at for faking the heart attack and causing her loss fair, and Jake as well. We all know what happened. Gabby is worried for what's about to occur. She's likely seen what has happened in the past and doesn't want it to occur again. Ellie probably just looks at them annoyed, maybe makes a remark. Then we have Jake and Miriam ignoring her completely, for Jake makes sense. And Miriam is probably just following in Jake's suit. I don't think she feels guilty for what she did back in S1. So, next up, Tom, one of my personal favorites and one of the people I'm rooting for the most when it comes to this season. Anyway, we see him confused. This could be due to a number of reasons. I'm guessing some stupid antics occur somehow, and he reacts like most people would. Now, this scene I find very fascinating. Why is Tom ashamed? I'd say Jake and Miriam would be mad at him, but considering their characters, I'm doubting they would do so. This is one of the only things of the teaser I can't pinpoint, so if you have any theories for this scene, I'd love to hear them in the comments down below. We then flip to Ellie and Hunter, who Crystal swiftly introduces and welcomes onto the plane. We then can move on to their interview with Emily, which seems like she actually got to them. As Hunter is shown to be mad, my guess is this is the beginning of their fighting, which will only get worse, episode by episode, which therefore begs the question, how long will these two be lasting? There's only so long they can fight, right? I guess we will have to see. Flipping to Connor. We see him just walking to the plane stop. Pay close attention to the background of this scene. Now to Rhea. Notice the background. Isn't it similar to the background in Connor's scene? I think the two will have their first interaction of the season here, having a wholesome reunion of sorts. Then the plane shows up. That's what makes the most sense to me anyways, to add onto it. I feel like Rhea will have her fake persona when she first shows up, but seeing Connor flips to her more genuine side. Given the fact no cameras are around, to the next scene, Ellie and Gabby and Ashley. Ashley decides to sit with Ellie and Gabby, acting all friendly like. This to me screams strategic gameplay. As why would she try to form actual bonds with Ellie and Gabby, the people who voted her out last time? I do think if these three do actually get along, it'll be wholesome, as it would be a cool friendship. However, as shown in intro, I think she will be more attached to Jake. So, I suppose we will see how this all goes, but I appreciate the strategic gameplay coming from her. Next scene, we see a map going from Mexico to Brazil. We know Lake stayed with Rosa Maria in Mexico, so I think they picked up Lake and are now heading down to Brazil in order to pick up James and Eden. Speaking of James and Eden, James and Eden are at the interview with Emily, where they look to be very happy. This, though somewhat wholesome, makes me fear the future for the two. I don't think they'll go unchallenged from this season. We flip to Lake, James, and Eden. Lake wholesomely saying hello to the two. I'm guessing they haven't kept in too much contact. And Lake is very happy to see them back, and also happy to see them going strong. Also, this scene perfectly describes most Jaden fans. We flip to many people being very shocked, but at what? I feel like some twist of the season could be at play here, or it could be the return of Trevor and Derek since they were in jail. I'm more so leaning towards a twist of the season since most S2 campers are faced by this, not the S1 campers. The final scene we get is with Trevor opening the plane door. With Crystal holding a parachute, she may be forcing the campers to jump out of the plane to the camp, which if she is, did she learn anything from her development in S2? And that's where these teaser analyses end. I am very excited for Episode 1. Speaking of Episode 1, allow me to offer my basic theories for Episode 1.
Ugh, finally! A dumb marching band blocked our exit for 5 minutes. Should have just run him over.
The episode will begin with basic exposition. Her calling all the campers, Trevor and Derek getting out of jail, Emily finishing up Crystal's makeup, and then Crystal giving basic explanation to how this season will go. We then go across the globe, picking up camper after camper, having interview after interview, and much drama on the plane itself. Then, we get to the camp. Teams are made and basic dynamics are set up. I feel like there may be a reward challenge, but only that if anything. I don't think we will be getting an elimination in Episode 1, as we have 21 episodes to go. And it feels like a waste of a cast space if one of them is just automatically booted. It'd make much more sense if we get the first boot in Episode 2. I know this is a decently broad prediction, but we don't have enough on DCAS yet to predict the exact interactions at the exact time it will occur, though we do know some of the basic interactions we will see this coming season. With all that out of the way, allow us to transition to the conclusion.
Ugh, finally! A dumb marching band blocked our exit for 5 minutes. Should have just run him over.
Overall, this season looks pretty good so far. I cannot wait to see the premiere of Episode 1 on January 18th. Now, I would love to hear your predictions on what might happen, your interpretations of the teasers, etc. in the comments down below. Always enjoy reading them. In any case, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I hope to see you next time on the channel. Have a wonderful day, night,